Hey friends. Hey friends, Michelle here with Rising Sun Oracle. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you're returning, I am here with my lovely spiritual friends, Angela from Mystic Moon Oracle. Hello. And then we have Alex of Sister Moon Tarot. Hey Alex.
Hey.
We decided to bring you a special reading today in honor of the new moon in Gemini. Collectively, we share an audience who identifies both as twin flames, soulmates, divine counterparts. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to come together for the Gemini twin moon to bring you a special reading. So without further ado, we're going to have Angela introduce the first question and get the reading started.
Perfect. I'm going to switch my cards to my table, my glasses, so I can see. So give me just a second, you guys. All right. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to check in with the current energy of the divine feminine during this new moon in Gemini. And Alex is actually going to kick things off with that.
All right. Hi guys. Okay, so we're gonna just tap into the feminine's energy currently with the new moon, regarding the dynamic, just regarding everything. Okay, I've got 3 of all of our decks here. I have Energies of Your Connection by myself, Connections for the Modern World by Mystic Moon, and the Soul Food Oracle from Rising Sun Oracle. Okay, and I also have this Witchy Cat Tarot, which is not by any of us, but I want to just first get some tarot energies. So where is the feminine currently at here for the new moon? Now, I don't always take reversals, but sometimes I do, and I'm feeling like I want to take this reversal here. We have a Knight of Swords, which is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. We have a 6 of Cups. So I feel the feminine here and the world, okay? So this is Saturn energy. This could be karmic energy, Capricorn energy. I feel that the feminine has maybe been feeling kind of stuck with some lack of movement from the past, from this connection. She could be really she or he. I'm saying she just because it's easier, but you could be a divine feminine and identify as and be a man, or that could be your gender, masculine. But there's a lack of movement, maybe a lack of communication, or some like hindrance in communication here. But I feel the feminine is getting just to this point where she's tired of like maybe looking back. She feels like I'm hearing the word like unfinished business, but she's ready to finish it. So she's kind of just at this brink of wanting to kind of put things to rest, regardless of how they ended, regardless of whether she feels this unfinished business. It could be like this constant like tugging at her heartstrings, but at the same time she's like living her life. So it's like that song, if you guys watch me, you know I always channel music, but every time I go pulling me back, it's like Nelly. It's like every time she tries to move forward, there's just something pulling her back, but that's not even really like the space that she's in. Okay, so I'm going to pull from Connections of the Modern World and get some clarity on that. Mysterious Stranger. Okay. Letting Go is reversed. So that's, I don't really usually take oracle cards like that, but that's interesting because that's what I'm kind of getting, is that a part of her has let go, but there's a part of her that's just kind of being resistant to it. And at the end of the day, I feel like she's open to new beginnings with new people here, experiencing happy, joyful times. She wants to live her life. So it's like there's 2 parts of her, and you guys as a feminine could feel very compartmentalized. Like there's a part of you that's like maybe even already enjoying your life or can see your life with someone new. You're open, but at the same time, there's just like this little part of you that's like, well, where's my masculine? And what was the whole point of that journey? Like, why did I go through all of that? Because it almost seems like anticlimactic to experience all that and to leave without these words that were left unsaid. That's also the energy I'm getting. Okay, so let's get from the Soul Food Oracle from Rising Sun Oracle and see what this is about. We've got mashed potatoes. I need a hug. I feel there's this energy of like wanting new things, but also wanting comfort from the past. Mashed potatoes could be like a childhood, like, you know, that's what Six of Cups also is like, it's reconciliation, it's nostalgia, it's like that inner child sense of comfort. So I feel like the feminine could really be seeking that still at the end of the day too. Maybe she's going through something, and as much as exciting and new is fun, you want like that person that knows you on that level. You still want someone from the past. That could resonate with some of you feminines. Then we have coconut cream pie. My head is in the clouds. And I feel like she may even feel sort of like directionless without this connection. Like she wants to be free, she wants to be let go, like this balloon, but she doesn't know where she would go. And that's sort of scary, exciting, all these things that maybe she just hasn't really grasped. And now for my energies, look at this. We have good vibes and sunny days. So another song just popped in my head, but I can't even actually think of what it is. It's just kind of like a subtle song, but I'm not going to sing it. And then we have Taking You Home. So she's looking for comfort, I feel here, but joy and fun and happiness. Like I feel the feminine wants to step into her own. That's also what the world is about, is like self-actualizing, like really be her own self. But at the same time, she's defined herself by this journey and this dynamic for so long that a part of her just wants to go home and have comfort. So it's like you kind of want to break out of your comfort zone, but you also kind of want to hug at the end of the day from that person that knows you best. Sorry, that was very long, but that's where the feminine's at.
I like it.
I do too. So I'm going to read for the masculine, and I've pulled 3 cards while Alex was doing her portion. And again, we're using the same decks. We're using the Connections for the Modern World by Mystic Moon, my Soul Food Oracle, and Energies for Your Connection by Sister Moon, Alex here. And keeping it in alignment with what Alex has pulled, the first card that I pulled for the masculine was also coconut pie. So
Wow.
we've got confirmation right out the gate that we are connecting the twins together, that soulmates, twin flames, Gemini, you know, we're in that energy. So masculine and feminine are mirroring the same energy to one another. They're lost in the clouds. This masculine could be thinking of you, reflecting, thinking of sweeter times, thinking about the connection and where things were sweet between the two of you. So he's in reflective mode, dreaming, thinking of the feminine, also dealing with some regret. There is regret on his part, possibly about the way that he's treated his feminine, regrets around the choices that he has made. Definitely thinking about feminine. She is on his mind. And again, just taking that time right now to be really in his headspace about the regrets. And finally, we have long lost love. So this is confirmation that he is thinking about the love, the loss between the two of you. And I'm feeling that on his part, very disconnected, wants to try and reach that heart space once again, possibly with feminine, but definitely love is on the brain, it's on the mind, it's in his thoughts, it's in his dreams, and she is at the forefront. That's the energy I'm channeling for Divine Masculine here for his current energy.
Sorry about that, guys. Did a couple of things while I was all right. You all set, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, perfect.
Angela's gonna read for the collective.
Okay, here I go for the collective. So we're obviously going to go into these 3 decks that we've been using. So let's go ahead and get some collective energies. Take a look. We have maturity. Okay. So immediately what I'm getting here is that both divine masculine and feminine are maturing, especially during this new moon. There are certain things that are coming to light for both of them. I definitely feel like this is more of a mental maturity within the way that they're both kind of seeing themselves, but also seeing each other and this connection. So I feel like that is a positive high vibe that goes along with that positive high vibe that the feminine got. Yeah, see, taking it all in rather than just looking at it from the perspective, looking at it from the perspective of just kind of being small-minded or closed-minded about the situation. They're just taking the entire experience and what they've experienced with each other, what they've meant to each other's lives, regardless of where things go from here on out. They're just going to look at it in a much more mature perspective. And so I feel like this new moon is bringing this new mental maturity into the situation. So let me go ahead and get one card from this deck here from Michelle. Ooh, I love that we're using all these same decks.
Oh my God.
We get the repeats here. So this says, my head is in the
Wow.
clouds. So I'm getting here that, how this came up for Divine Feminine, right? This Divine Feminine is coming out of the clouds. She's taking in the entire experience. She's not being closed-minded when it comes to this journey and everything that it's meant to show her or teach her. So I believe with her maturity, she actually lends some of that open-mindedness and maturity thinking to the masculine, since they're energetically connected. So I feel like that's why it's coming through the way that it's coming through, if that makes sense. That's it. Yep.
I have the chills. That's amazing how the three of us actually pulled that on camera together.
Oh,
Wow. It tells you that the twins are really connected.
big time.
All right. What?
Next one we have are the current emotions during this new moon in Gemini for the feminine. We're going to start with Alex.
Okay. So I've already pulled the cards as Michelle was pulling the other cards for mine while I was doing mine. So I'm using Love Notes to My Valentine from Rising Sun, my Moody Moon Messages Feminine, and the Arrows of Love Oracle from Mystic Moon. So I've got the Hugs and Kisses from the Feminine, which is interesting because we had I Need a Hug. So these particular feminines tuning in could be very much like into that just physical affection, like that could be your love language, or that just could be needing some comfort, needing some physical touch. Maybe, just the pandemic, you've been very detached from, even like I feel feminine. Everyone has just even wanted to like hug a friend, for so long or whatever. So there could just be that. And then we have guidance and protection, wings of love, and anxious. So I feel maybe a lot of feminines right now are looking to get some comfort from their spiritual, like angels, their spiritual team here. They're just not really sure what the answer is to things. We have just trying to get relief here. So, and I feel like that physical presence could be what relieves them. And regarding this connection, it could be that they feel like maybe if they just saw the masculine, maybe if they just had that person who really could give them some comfort, it would give them this like reassurance. It would make them feel protected, because they could just almost feel overwhelmed with like the energies in the world right now. Like this is a city, this is, the city life can be very like detached, disconnected. So I feel like they're looking for emotional and physical intimacy. I'm not just talking about sex, but I'm talking about like just that hug, that rubbing your back kind of energy. That's just kind of what I'm getting from both of these polls here. So
Awesome. So
Michelle.
From the masculine perspective, again, we're pulling from the same deck, Love Notes to My Valentine. The first card out, we have Every Moment with You is Precious. I love that it's a mirroring image of two individuals hugging one another, sharing those precious moments. Divine Masculine is thinking about those moments. Again, he is emotionally in the space of wanting to physically connect with Divine Feminine. He is reflecting and acknowledging and shouting out to Feminine, every moment that I shared with you was precious. You're still in my heart space. Pulling from Alex's Moody Moon Messages from Masculine 1 and 2, we have Insincere, Fake, Plastic, and Illusions. So I get this masculine that we are channeling here is acknowledging that in the physical world, when he was with Feminine, he was insincere about his feelings. He possibly didn't present his true emotions, could have been withholding how he truly felt towards the feminine, keeping his emotions within, being fake, wearing a mask, not being completely transparent with his emotions is what I'm getting. And in reality, what he really really wanted to show in the emotions was every moment with you was precious. I am reflecting on that, and I'm acknowledging that I have been fake with you, that I haven't been transparent and sincere with you about my emotions towards you. And from the Arrows of Love Oracle, we have love language. Deep conversations. I get that this masculine is wanting to have those heartfelt conversations with feminine, that he has stepped within and emotionally regrets not having these open, transparent conversations with how precious she was to him and how much she meant to him. I feel like he is trying to put together the pieces of a broken, shattered heart that, again, is carrying the regrets from his energies, showing that I wish I could have been more transparent with my love language with you and been more sincere about my emotions towards you.
Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the connective, the connective energy with masculine and feminine in their emotions. So let's go ahead and grab a card here. We have Phantom Lover Fantasy. Okay, so immediately what I'm picking up on with this energy is that emotionally, both of them are in a way connecting in that higher realm. I see this more as like a 5D energy, astral plane, dream world, dream connection. So I feel like right now, emotionally, if they're not able to speak or actually have conversations, that deep conversation, I feel like they're going to, in a way, just kind of, connect more. Their higher selves are more or less going to connect, or they're just kind of fantasizing what it would be like to actually open up and be vulnerable to one another, to be able to express how they really truly feel. So I feel like they both are really drawn more to a fantasy of what it would be like to connect and have those deep conversations, rather than actually taking those actions to make it happen. Okay, so we're going to go into the Moody Moon Feminine by Sister Moon. See, nothing seems to be going my way. I feel like communication right now might not be going their way. And so it's like they're having to, in a way, kind of settle for this fantasy-based connection. Okay, that might not be for everybody, because some people might be actually speaking to their person, but some people I feel might not be. And so any kind of issues are going to be left to what if, or just more of that fantasy. So love notes from my Valentine, from Rising Sun, we have, I am grateful to have you in my life. And that's beautiful, because I really feel that both of them are grateful that they've had the time that they've had. But if there has been some sort of separation, or there's no contact right now, it's kind of like, at least they have their memories. At least they have that, just those memories. And that's probably why that Six of Cups came up earlier, is because there's a lot of maybe nostalgia and reminiscence about the good times, the good old days, if things don't seem to be going their way right now, if that makes sense. That's what I got.
Awesome.
So the next cards are going to be reflecting the mistakes that have been made and are currently up for release during this new moon in Gemini.
Okay. So I'm using Spirit of Darkness and Light from Mystic Moon, Ask the Oracle from Rising Sun, and my Doubts of Divine Masculine. Now, this is the feminine side, but so what I picked up, because I already pulled these cards, is we've got Spirit of Saint Nicholas, Gifts, Generosity, Assistance. There could be some mistakes that were made around like holiday time, Christmas time. That doesn't necessarily have to be. I still don't know what I want out of life, which is interesting, because then I got career. What can I do to stand out? Learn to speak a foreign language and fluently. Diversity is key and valued. Always act with integrity. Now, this is from the feminine's perspective, but I kind of feel like there's a couple things here. I feel the feminine may feel like the masculine at the time, maybe they were involved, or maybe their connection first started, that the masculine wasn't really sure. The feminine views this like this. The masculine wasn't really sure what he was doing with his life, and maybe he didn't give of his time to the feminine. He didn't even give this connection a shot, because he was so lost. Maybe he was so focused on these other things that she could think that she could even feel like maybe this is what he's experiencing as well. But this could also be what's interesting is, although it's like a blessing in disguise, this could have been where the feminine was, and she may view it as it was a mistake that it was like bad timing, because at the time they got involved, she wasn't really sure what she wanted out of her life. But in a way, this was actually a blessing in disguise, because when you meet your masculine, as you guys all know, it shifts a lot in your career, a lot in what you want out of life. And it makes you open to learning all these new things. So what seemed like was a mistake, it actually redirected them onto the path they were supposed to be on, career wise and soul path. But she may still be viewing it as it was a mistake because she didn't ultimately get out of it what she thought she was going to get out of it, which was the connection, but she got out of it so much more. So it's kind of like, it's a twist, because it really wasn't a mistake. But at the same time, she could be sensing that the masculine maybe beats himself up for this, that he didn't even give the feminine that energy, because at the time he just was lost and he was trying to figure out his finances and his 3D world. So
Total sense. Wow.
And this again, once again, you and I have pulled the same card
oh my God.
from your deck.
Wow.
And as you were speaking this, I was channeling the same message again for masculine. Quite interesting. I still don't even know what I want out of life. So mirroring to one another, we are picking up on this energy between each other, that we feel like we're lost, or we don't have the answers, or we didn't have the answers at the time when we were in connection. And it's put both of them in this position where they needed to step back, because you're going to gain perspective once you remove yourself from the situation. Where am I not gaining clarity on where I want to be in life? What is it that I want? Do I want to be in this partnership? Why is this partnership or this connection come into my life? And what does it mean for me? So it's obviously been a situation where both of you have come into one another's life and been a catalyst for one another to ask this very important question. What do I want out of life? In the Ask the Oracle for masculine, we got rest and recover. This is the direction and advice to masculine about what mistakes and what is up for release. This is thinking about the connection. How am I going to recover from this? I need to release all the things that I am holding on to that hold me back, the regrets, the inability to have been sincere in the connection. So it's up for review and release. And funny enough, from Spirits of the Darkness Light Divination deck, we also got Spirit of the Shoreline. And again, it's speaking to calm, tranquil, and relaxing. So this masculine really needs to take time out to relax, to calm his emotions. Possibly they could be very flared at this time. We could be channeling fire signs as well in this masculine, or certain masculines that are channeling and coming forward. But we're getting that maybe I didn't take time when I was in this connection to ask the important questions about life. And what do I want? How do I want to have a tranquil life? How do I want to have a calm partnership with my counterpart? So these are areas of his life that he feels he's possibly made mistakes, and that he needs to release those errors behind them. So that's for the masculine perspective.
Beautiful. All right. So for the connective, this is going to be mistakes that have been made and are currently up for release this new moon in Gemini for both masculine and feminine. All right. So we're going to ask the oracle cards first. Okay, so we have focus, life challenges. The challenge is help. Solution, learn to manage your needs versus others' expectations. So, I mean, immediately that's a challenge right there for both of them. How do we take care of ourselves versus worrying about what the other person's want or other person wants? That's a huge challenge for really anybody. But this masculine and feminine share this at this present time. Let's go ahead and take a look and see why. With Spirit of the Moon, this has to do with this moon cycle, you guys. That's very interesting to me. So this tells me here that maybe this is a good opportunity for both masculine and feminine to maybe just consider what it is that they want to kind of leave behind. Even though new moon really isn't about leaving things behind, it is about creating some sort of new energy, what we want to work on, what we want to bring in. So what's going to help? More helpful behaviors, more helpful things that we can do, maybe asking for help, maybe we're taking on too much. So I feel like within this particular moon phase, and look, dreams connect masculine and feminine once again. You see that? I feel like they're working with each other. They're actually helping each other through this 5D meditation or dream world and dream state. There's something that they're helping each other to cycle through. There's some sort of visions that are coming through as well. So if feminine and masculine are experiencing some sort of visions, maybe even telepathy or having dreams about each other, you guys are actually helping each other to work through these traumas and to work through something that's just basically an issue or a problem here. So for some reason, I did not have the same deck as you guys. I apologize, but I'm using Moody Moon messages number 1 and 2 from Alex, Sister Moon Tarot. So I'm going to grab one from each to see what this energy is all about. Okay, look at that. I love this. It says illuminated, conscious, aware, and uncovered. So look at this. We're going to uncover and become more conscious and aware of where we are basically lacking or not taking care of ourselves. So let's get another card from the other deck here. We have romantic. So again, there is this like very loving, emotional, and sentimental. You guys, look at that energy again. Sentimental, nostalgic. So they are connecting in this dream world, especially I'm getting here during this new moon phase. It's for some reason, if you have a dream about your person, your counterpart during the new moon, there is something there for you to pay attention to. Write that down when you wake up is what I'm getting here. But how can you help yourself? How you can help your twin flame? Because a lot of people ask that. It's by helping yourself, by empowering yourself, by healing yourself. That is how you can actually help to inspire other people and touch each other's lives in a beautiful way, is by doing the work yourself. So that is going to help illuminate issues and to clear up any energy. And it's going to create more of a loving atmosphere for masculine and feminine. That's what I have. All right, you guys. Yeah. Now we're going to move on into the wounds and the shadows that are currently being healed during this new moon in Gemini.
Okay, guys. So I already pulled the cards. I've got quite a few decks here. We've got Rising Sun Oracles, Soul Activation Oracle deck, the Shadows edition. We have Twin Flame Shadows from Mystic Moon. We have Love Games from myself, Soul Activation, the first edition from Rising Sun Oracle. I did use Romantic Confessions from DM, but coming from the feminine, and then Twin Flame oracles from Mystic Moon. I always, you know what, Angela, I've had your deck forever and it says Mystic Moon Oracles, and I always get tripped up on the name of this. It's just your first main Oracle Twin Flame deck.
It's all good.
Okay. So interesting. So I feel the feminine now. This is very interesting to me. I have grief, heart chakra, crown chakra, superior. We've got throat chakra, success. We have I always admired your beauty. The answer is no. Solitude. I pulled 2 from a couple of these decks. Tiny blessings, which is like, well, this is a baby, but it could be anything else. And then we have embarrassment. So I feel that the feminine, when she went into this dynamic, it was kind of like, even this image is kind of like she put the masculine on the pedestal of being superior to her. And it was a huge rejection that she had to face from the masculine. And it caused significant pain and grief in her heart that brought her back to prior pains and just a wound that was already there. And then I'm hearing, you can go your own way. The solitude card, she was forced once again, even after meeting her divine counterpart, to go back into this place of solitude. And she thought she was gonna, even though in a way she always thought this masculine was above her with I always admired your beauty, like she never felt worthy of the masculine, but at the same time she thought for some reason this person was finally going to heal that wound of inferiority. And in fact, they were the one that shined the light the brightest on it. And once again, because I was talking about blessings before, it was a blessing, because going her, and we also have embarrassment, which is also that I feel like she put her heart out there. This was the person that she thought she was safe with, actually, that would heal her grief. And this person made her grief worse. But at the same time, most feminines, I feel, at some way gained success even in their own self-expression with the throat chakra, even in the way they show up in the world, or they're working on it. They're working on that wound of, how did the masculine make me feel inadequate? And I know I get a lot of comments on my Instagram and my YouTube about people who are still in this space of, this whole journey is meant to make you address this victimhood mentality and be a victor, and you're not a victim, but you probably went into your counterpart situation with that wound, and it shined the light on it and it made it feel more painful. But what it was supposed to do was supposed to dissipate this. You grieve, you cry, it's like your heart is frozen, and you just cry as much as you want, and then eventually get to the other side. And so I feel like maybe she's starting to see these little cracks in that, or maybe she's starting to realize, it had something to do with a childhood wound when she was a baby or a child, but she's facing herself. But I'm not going to paint it all roses. This could be very harsh reality that's still hard for feminines to deal with. We were talking about the wounds and the shadows. So this is just where she's at. It's okay. You're not alone. You're on the same, what feels like a sinking boat with all the other feminines, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So love it.
Love it. Okay. So from the masculine perspective, we are looking at the wounds. So wounds here, we have from the Soul Activation Oracle, we have the crown chakra, we have universe. This feels to me the wound of not being connected to the feminine when they were in a physical union together, maybe taking advantage of the fact that there was something so much more deeper that he just wasn't connecting to her, and or connecting through his crown, not being open to source, to those messages that come through, and to show you that this is a spiritual connection, and denying that. So I feel like this is a wound for him that he's now reflecting on and acknowledging that I didn't extend myself to this connection fully. We also have from the twin flame oracles from Mystic Moon, we have union. This is a sore spot for, and again, we got the moon here, so it's connecting to the moon cycles. We have a sore spot for masculine, the wound. We're not in union. We're not traveling this lifetime together right now, and it's causing me a wound. I acknowledge that I am hurting around this connection. I am hurting about the choices that I have made. Possibly if he walked away, possibly the wounds around it not working out. And what I love is a mirroring image from the Love Games Oracle from Sister Moon, is we have yin and yang. Definitely on his masculine, I keep channeling that feminine is on his mind. The connection is on his mind. You are my counterpart. You are the one that I have been looking for, the one that I connect so deeply with. But my wound here is I didn't acknowledge the union. I didn't acknowledge the connection when we were together. And that's causing me great wounds. In terms of the shadows that he's facing from, this is quite funny too, from my shadows edition of the Soul Activation Oracle, we have lust. So this is root chakra. This is not being grounded in pure sexual energy. This is just, connective sexual energy. This is just lustful. This is fast fleeting energy. This is, I just want your body when I want it, when I need it, sexual gratification, rather than being grounded in more loving, connective energy. And funny enough, we have lust from twin flame shadows. So we have a repeat message here that this masculine, his real shadow has been, I've not stepped within the connection to really understand what feminine meant to me, my counterpart, my yin to yang. I really just abused her body from time to time for sexual gratification. I wasn't connected in the heart space to exchange love. pure love all of the time, and there's that shadow energy and that wound around that, from the romantic confessions from Sister Moon we have, and he's confirming this. I lied to you when I told you I didn't care about you. Really, he did, but this kind of energy stepped in the way and really got the best of him. I'm channeling that masculine here, didn't equate sex with love. He just equated sex with a connection. I'm having a physical connection with my feminine, and I've denied that in myself, where I wasn't being honest about my emotions. I wasn't being honest about how I really felt. And I'm wounded, and I'm facing my shadow here around not having been in that loving physical connection, more of a lust, fast fleeting gratification energy. That's for masculine.
All right. So you guys, we're going to go with the connective energy between masculine and feminine. Same question, which is the wounds and the shadows that are currently being healed during this new moon. So we're going to go into the love game by Sister Moon. Okay, so we have shadow side. Look at this, you guys. That makes a lot of sense. So we're going to be looking at the shadow aspect of this situation. So obviously we're going to go into this soul activation oracle. To me, this is the shadow side of this card, even though I am going to go into the shadow deck of this. Forgive. So throat chakra, what I feel, it says forgive yourself and others. I feel like right now that both feminine and masculine, there may not be this forgiveness that has been given for ourselves, because I'm giving this, or I'm getting this, how we treat ourselves or what we heal, we actually inspire others to heal and do the same. So I feel like either the masculine or feminine, they might be able to forgive one another, but they can't forgive themselves, which is kind of odd, right? So it's creating this issue in the throat chakra. The throat chakra is blocked right now. So this needs to be done. We need to really look at the shadowy aspect of this. Why can't we forgive ourselves? Where does this come from? What is happening here? So let's go ahead and go into the shadow activation. Heart chakra, look at this, demanding. Okay, so heart and throat. I feel like that demanding energy has something to do with performance, you know, what we feel like we can, how we can make others happy. It's going back to that one card. Let me just grab it again because it makes total sense to me. Okay, I don't know where I put it, but it was very much about taking care of yourself. Remember, it was about, oh, here it is. It was this card. This says here, learn to manage your needs versus others' expectations. So demanding that you do certain things that make me feel good about myself, that make me feel whole, that make me feel loved. The thing is, that's not anybody else's responsibility but ourselves. And so I feel like there's some sort of self-loathing going on with masculine and feminine. So what they might be demanding of each other has something to do with some unhealed or unresolved issue or wound within themselves. So let's get down to the shadow. Ooh, we have vengeful. Somebody's pissed. Somebody feels that because, yeah. So to me, this is telling me that this huge shadow of being angry because someone is not meeting our needs, it has everything to do with a lack within ourselves. So this is really being examined, you guys, during this new moon. And it really needs to be released. Like, we're not meant to take it on any further in this journey, because what it's doing is it's just creating more of a shadowy aspect of the connection. Okay, so we're gonna go into this deck. Yeah, received, like what you put out is what you're gonna receive back. So it really goes into that message where we really, really need to be careful with what we are, how we're judging ourselves and how we're treating ourselves, because that is the energy that we are teaching other people to treat us under. So I actually don't have that deck that you guys have, but I'm going to go into the Twin Flame Current Vibes by Sister Moon. I know what I have to do now. See, look at that. It's crystal clear what needs to happen. Okay. Might also be masculine and feminine working with crystals in order to help to clear up some of these shadows as well. But it's crystal clear how we love ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, how we treat ourselves is how other people are going to likely treat us as well. So if you expect the masculine to love you, or if you expect the feminine to love you, but you don't love yourself, it's crystal clear that there's so much healing that needs to be done on the self, or it cannot be mirrored back to you in a healthy way. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. It's
All
crystal
right.
clear.
That's what I got. All right. So next one we're going to go into, you guys, is guidance and assistance from our guides and our angels. So divine feminine. So Alex, what is leading the divine feminine right now spiritually?
I love these cards that I pulled. So these are both moons, signs from spirit, love oracle, and her twin flame angel numbers. This was actually always the card that I saw as the twin flame, the number 717. I don't know how many of you learned that, but for some reason that was what I learned. So every time I see the number 17, it's very twin flame. But what's interesting is we have an encounter with your twin flame could be on the horizon, and karmic cycles are now coming to a close. Allow all parties to absorb the necessary lessons for growth.
Wow.
I feel like just when you thought it was over, it's like, don't give up before the miracle kind of energy, like not to be waiting, but really you just never know what's going to happen on this journey. But what you do is you work, the feminine could be at that point where she's actually let go of the connection, thinking that it's over, and that's when it's going to actually come through. Okay.
Yeah.
So she might be really making alternate plans in her life. She might be at this point where she's like, you know what, maybe this was karmic, maybe this was just a lesson, and that's going to be what brings the miracle. So if you guys are waiting for someone to rush through your door, but you're keeping it open, actually closing the door is going to be what makes them open. They're men, if you're dealing with a man or a masculine energy, they're hunters. They want to go after someone who's got their own thing going on. So waiting is never going to be, but I feel this is a really positive omen because we also have unlock and sweetness. I just said door and I didn't even put that together, but it's going to be the masculine knocking down at your door. But I also feel this is that nostalgic energy. Hummingbirds travel really long distances and they're very determined. They're very, I feel the masculine, especially if you're a feminine who's been working on yourself and you've been getting to this point where you're definitely not contacting the masculine. Okay. You're just doing your thing, or maybe you are contacting, but you're not with that energy of needing them to do anything. They're starting to remember the good times. They're starting to want to open their heart to you. They're starting to want to come for you. Okay. I don't want to give any false promises, but I also feel like this is just saying, regardless of whether this is your masculine or what, there's beautiful things happening that are transpiring right now. And you just never know. So keep the faith. And also whatever karmic energy was involved in your connection, whether your masculine is with a karmic partner, whatever, you may not know, but things are kind of ending here. And the eight's like that infinity of the energy that goes on and on. So just trust your journey. Don't analyze it too much. Don't question it. Just know that the forces have been with you all along to support you, to bring you positive things. This has all been for your greater good, to unlock gifts and sweetness within your life that you might not feel it. You might not believe what I'm saying, but I do believe ultimately that is what you weren't put on this journey to suffer. So
That is so amazing because there's so much mirroring energy here, but really, and what Alex is saying is if you let go of the connection, if you can release it and just trust what is meant for you is going to show up for you when it's meant for you. The first card I've got out here is the moon, and I'll come back to this and read this to you, but the moon, it's about things that are being hidden from you and what feminine is not meant to see or meant to know necessarily all of the time, so that she can focus on herself. She can go within and she can do those do the journey and do the hard work that she needs to clear out some stuff, because while she's doing that, what she doesn't know is masculine. We're going to pull from the Signs of Spirit Love Oracle. We've got Swan. We have loyalty. What he wants to say here, Swan represents the twin flame connection. This is a loyal connection. No matter the disconnect, no matter the separation, masculine wants to communicate to feminine, you're loyal and I am loyal to you in the heart space. You are my loyal, faithful partner. I haven't always been loyal to you in the physical, but in my heart space and in my mind, I am telling you, I'm trying to communicate to you that I am loyal to you in love. I'm trying to connect with you. So where you feminine may have felt she's lost hope or has decided to walk away and focus on herself, which is great, but he's still trying to pull at her. He's still trying to recognize or send a signal to feminine that I recognize that you are very important to me. This connection is much more than what I gave it credit in the physical world. From the animal affirmations, I love that we keep getting birds here. We have the owl come out. Again, it's mirroring what Alex has pulled. She's pulled the hummingbird. We have the owl. So this is about coming into awareness from the masculine part. It says, I trust my inner knowing. I am wise. I am discerning. I am expansive. So because of the disconnect, the lack of communication, taking time away from one another, masculine again has realized so much more to this connection than what he acknowledged in the physical. And it keeps repeating in the cards that I'm pulling for masculine. I keep getting this message from him that I wasn't so present and aware and focused on the connection when it was here in the physical. I have regrets about the way that I treated my feminine. I didn't show up properly. I did, perhaps improper things. Maybe I lied, maybe I cheated, whatever it was that he did. He now has gained perspective. He is aware of things. Self-awareness is very key for him right now. And then we have the moon again, connecting with the moon cycle. What is hidden from you possibly will be restored during this Gemini new moon. This card reads, I embody the power, depth, and the complexities of the moon. I recharge under the light of the moon. I honor my sisters and brothers of the moon. The moon helps me connect to my true, authentic self. I love the moon. Masculine is confirming I've gone within, I'm connecting. I am now aware, I am awake. I'm acknowledging all of these hardships between us. I want to take accountability in my space for the things that I caused, the regrets that I have. I'm acknowledging them. The moon is illuminating these issues for me. I've gone within, and I want you to know that you remain loyal in my heart. My love for you remains loyal. That's where masculine is at in being inspired, staying inspired, wanting to send those messages to feminine on how to just when you've lost hope or you think it's done with, there's always that possibility that free will comes into play and things can change. That's masculine's perspective.
Awesome. I just got to say, I just love Mercury in retrograde. I can't wait. We're done to tell you all the things that I have done during this reading where I'm like, holy shit. Anyways, so it's a fun conversation for later. But so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the spiritual guidance and assistance for the connection for both. So how is spirit leading the masculine and feminine together as a team? So let's go ahead and go into, I'm actually going to go into from Sister Moon Tarot just for today. I want to see what spirit is working with here. We have today, I recognize that people do the best that they can. And sometimes love does not look like love, but if another soul forces us to be the best version,
oh my gosh,
even if they didn't show us love, they showed us how to cultivate self-love. I mean, does that not depict the entire situation? So the spirit is working with both masculine and feminine to let them know that even though it might not look like, true love or divine love at this time, or maybe it didn't look that way in the past, this has certainly inspired both of them to be better versions of themselves. And that's all that really matters. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a twin flame angel number. We have 1616, so that root chakra energy coming through. It says your angels are assisting and guiding you towards your financial freedom. It's exactly what you said in the Alex. Exactly here. Yeah. So that's exactly what this is. It's kind of like, okay, so maybe it's not this romantic connection or union that people were expecting, but guess what it's done is it's pushed both of you to be the best versions of yourselves and to find yourselves and to work towards your mission. And even if masculine and feminine are not physically together, whatever they're doing, they're inspiring each other to basically be in their mission. So energetically and in their souls, and they're connected again in their dreams always. So it's that higher energy, that 5D, they're already in union. But what we're seeing in 3D, it might not be matching up with 5D, but This is pushing forward constantly to use the energy of this connection. Ooh, to be of service. Look at this, you guys. I can't believe this. The apron. So it's all about work mission right now. It's all about what you're meant to do here in mission. And again, a lot of people talk about how they can't really be in mission unless they're in union with their twin flame. And I say nonsense. You're already in union with your twin flame, or your masculine or your feminine, or whatever you want to label it as. You're already in energetic union. This is about you just being able to do what you can while maybe you're not in this physical union. You're still very much pushing forward towards this goal, towards this mission together. The spirit is really trying to assist and guide both masculine and feminine towards this perspective of seeing the what did we get earlier? If I can find this card, where is it? You guys know what I'm talking about. Hold on.
The whole reading is synchronistic, so I can't even pinpoint which one.
Yeah, it was the little card. It was the little one. Here, hold on. I can't find it. I don't know why I can't find anything. Oh, here
Are
it
you
is.
talking about the career?
I'm lying.
I'm grateful.
No, it's your little card. Your little card.
Oh, your Ask the Oracle?
No, it says see the bigger picture. Remember?
That's the career card, I think.
No, I don't know. I can't find it now. Oh well. It sounded so good, but it didn't flow through. Fucking Mercury retrograde, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. So anyways, that's what we have for assistance from our angels and guides. Now we're going into how can the counterparts inspire one another?
Okay, so interesting. I pulled, this is from my 2 decks, Animal Affirmations and Stay Inspired. Independent on the feminine side, you never needed anyone else to define you or make you worthy. If you have to go at it alone, we already had the Solitude card. You can do this. You are your own best friend, your own hero, your own warrior. So the feminine has definitely found independence through this. And the animal I got is the koala, which I have written, I am rare, I am cute, I am lovable, I have healthy relationships and attachments, because, you know, the koalas cling to the trees. So I feel like, you know, a lot of feminines have learned that they can do this on their own. They don't need anyone else to live their life with them. And maybe that's something they're still learning, but I feel like they've gained a lot of independence through this journey. And so that is something they could stay inspired for, because if you could get through the pain of meeting a divine counterpart and not having them choose you, I mean, you could get through anything, and that is heart-wrenching. That's a heart-wrenching experience. So I feel like there is a strength that came out of this. This is a war, spiritual warfare that they had, a fight that they came out and they survived, and you guys are doing better. Okay. So just know, and you also have your worth. You know, you're rare, you're cute, you're lovable. Despite whether someone loved you back or not, it doesn't take away from how you view yourself and your own self-worth.
I love that. Yay.
So
Keeping up with.
Go ahead.
Keeping up with that. I just love the way that this is flowing. From the Animal Affirmations Sister Moon deck, for masculine, we have B, and it says, I am important, I am essential, I am intelligent, I attract and create sweet moments, I am connected to all other living things. I think feminine has inspired masculine to really acknowledge that he is important, he is valued, he is respected, and that he needs to feel this way about himself. Her energy has inspired him to feel this way about himself, despite all of the time that he has gone within and he's reflecting and he's had these regrets and he's pondering the connection and the choices that he made in the physical. Now he's in a space of recognition. You know what? I'm human, I make mistakes. But at the end of the day, I am loved, I am important, I am essential. And what beautiful heart sunshine energy this is. Amazing, amazing. And then we have from Stay Inspired, we have focus. So it's wherever your attention goes, that's going to be where it's going to be placed at. So be mindful of what you're doing and where you're putting your attention. And maybe masculine hasn't had his attention so focused, or are focused on the right areas, or feelings and emotions. So focus wherever your focus is what expands in your life. Focus on the positive. So he's feeling more positive about the situation and the outlook on life. He's gained so much knowledge and introspection on, or introspect of what's gone on with his connection, and how feminine has inspired him so greatly to want to have this opportunity to live life to the fullest. And maybe when times haven't been so positive for him, or he thought things would be greener on the other side, maybe that wasn't the case. But now he has this opportunity where he is focusing on self, focusing on creating a positive life, creating a positive attitude. And it's important to him. It's essential to his mind space and keeping that vibration high. So he's moved into a higher energy as a result of this connection. And even through the disconnect or lack of communication, he is still quite certain and aware that this is still a positive thing for him. This is a positive situation. He's reflecting outward his positivity.
Beautiful. All right, you guys. So we are actually at the very end of this reading. So we are going to be focusing to wrap everything up on the unspoken words between masculine and feminine, as well as the connective. So we're going to take it over to Sister Moon and see what she's got.
Okay, so I have a deck. I have changed the name. It's called I Gave You My Heart, but this other version doesn't have that. So I pulled one card and it says, I am grateful for how you cracked my heart wide open, even if it hurt like hell. So I feel this sums the whole thing up that we've been talking about. The feminine feels gratitude. It hurt, but it helped her grow. She experienced a love that she never had before, a love that's not defined by just like roses and flowers and candy. It's a love of somebody who lets you go to help you grow. And that's one of the other cards in here. Oh, well, I just pulled one more just to see if maybe that was the card. And I have, once again, the third time, sometimes I just want to hug you.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, she's grateful for the spiritual connection. She's strong, but she's still a human being. And it would be nice to give someone that you love, that you're grateful for, a hug, to know that they're, to just feel that physical presence. So they're still a part of her, but that doesn't mean that she can't be in of acceptance of what they are at this current moment.
So beautiful. Oh, so we are pulling from What He Didn't Say, volume 2. And I love this because we got the swan again. Now we have them united. This is amazing. It says, I feel your unconditional love and I send it to you in return. I don't think I have to really add more to that. It's just, I'm sending you unconditional love, feminine. I'm thinking of you. You're in my heart space. I am loyal to you in love. And then from Mystic Moon's Twin Flame Messages, Volume 1, we have Your Beauty Still Moves Me. And from Him to Her, messages for Old Souls in Separation from Sister Moon, we have I Lied When I Told You to Move On. So this is still a repeat message from masculine. Like, I wasn't sincere to you in the past, but I just really want you to know I still unconditionally love you at the end of the day.
Wow, I got a top, huh? I got a full those good messages. Let's see what comes up for the connective energy between masculine and feminine. So I'm going to go ahead and use Sister Moon's Twin Flame Current Vibes again and get a card. And I'm actually going to match it up with a tarot. It says, I wish I could heal you the way you healed me. Wow. Okay. So let me go ahead and get a tarot. Oh, wow. Look at that, you guys. It's the healing card of temperance.
Oh, goodness.
to me, that's like when you heal yourself, you heal me, vice versa. So the thing is that they're actually both working on healing themselves, and they wish that they could heal you the way that they're healing themselves. So when the masculine and feminine do the work on each other, they're going to feel so inspired and so just high vibe that they're going to want to try to lend some of that healing energy to their counterpart. That's beautiful. So that's a back and forth energy between the two of them. Now we're going to go into the what he didn't say, number 1 and 2. So number 1, we have, I am exhausted by our separation. I am working to achieve healing. Look at that, you guys. Once again, peace and acceptance. I think of you as I do this. What?
Wow.
Get a tarot with that. We have the Page of Cups. Beautiful. To me, this is like that little bit of a crumb offer. I'm very exhausted by our separation, but I think of you when I'm healing and I'm doing the work to be able to perhaps tell you from my heart space one day how much you have inspired me to do the work and heal myself. So we're going to get a number 2 message here. My soul is restless without you. Look at this. So I feel like both feminine and masculine are actually pretty exhausted by the separation, and they actually feel a lot of anxiety being in separation. But again, they're inspiring each other to do the work so they can show up for each other, perhaps at a later date. So I really feel like they're very, very connected to doing the work. Last one we're going to go into is my divine masculine revelations, and we have oversight. I know I made a huge mistake. So that's probably why we have all this frustrated energy. Look at that, all that frustration here. But I feel that they need to go through that kind of shadow energy. Look at this 2 pages, you guys. You're really on my mind, really on my heart. I want to convey this to you, but the pages to me are just thinking about it. They're not really taking action. So I don't feel like either one of them really wants to take the action in the physical world to actually share these things, but they're really taking a look at how they might have, you know, they've made some mistakes, and they want to try to work on the aspects of themselves that created these mistakes in the beginning or to begin with. So that way they don't have to deal with these oversights later on. So I think all in all, masculine and feminine are committed to working on themselves. And once they do this healing, they're going to want to then perhaps take these thoughts and turn them into action by maybe offering that message, or offering a cup of love, or at least apologizing, because I see Page of Cups as an apology. So I feel like somebody wants to apologize to someone, and I feel like this is something that is formulating right now in the mental space. So that's what I have.
How amazing. Wow.
Woo!
So, friends, we've reached the end of our reading today.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. Thank you, Angela, for bringing us together in this space.
It was so fun, you guys. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, guys. I love the energy and how it synced up. And just this was the new moon, which is all about the twins. So I feel like they really are on the same page. No pun intended with those 2 pages.
So true.
Amazing. Well, friends, that's been our reading for you. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to share your feedback with us, and we all send you wonderful, loving energy as we walk through the Gemini new moon. Take care, friends.
Bye.
Bye.